Welcome back to Under Oath. Theme parks, brother. Theme parks.
I've been to them. I'm familiar with them.
Okay. You ever gone on a ride and go, what would happen if something went bad?
Oh, my God. Every time I'm on a roller coaster, especially the one at Universal, the Hulk ride, when you are hurtling towards the ground, and it feels like, I don't know how fast you're actually going, but it feels like you're doing like 100 miles an hour, hurtling towards the ground. I think, my God, if this thing just cracked right now and we ended up hitting the pavement, how fast would everybody be dead?
And you compare that to like the one with the Raptor. I don't know what that's called. I hate that ride. Hate it. 20 seconds in, I want off.
The rides are better the more scared you are that you're going to die.
Now,
that's what makes a good ride. You during the course of the ride, you're not sure you're going to get off. That is a good ride.
Now, here are the things that cut me up about this stuff. Normally, you hear about the rides where the ride doesn't break, it just stops with you hanging upside down.
I've seen the videos.
Oh my God. Now, here's the thing. You're upside down, the blood's flowing to your head. You're in pain. I couldn't do 30 seconds at this age. I wouldn't want 30 seconds hanging upside down with the blood flowing to your head. You're sitting there. The things are digging into you. You can't move around because you're afraid that if you got
God forbid those straps break.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Some courts are finding that you weren't injured.
Oh, just because you were delayed?
They're calling it a delay. Not that you were disturbed or you had some issues, but they're saying that it's okay.
You need some kind of physical injury.
Yeah.
It can't be just that I was hanging upside down.
And if you had mental injuries, I guess you'd have to prove
for my life.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about that. Because we dealt with certain laws where if you get trapped inside a building and like they lock you in, that could be considered false imprisonment.
Yeah, if they do it on purpose.
Well, they didn't do it on purpose. They just were negligent. Now, if negligence applies to a ride that isn't properly maintained and I'm stuck upside down for an hour or two, I mean, technically, that could be false imprisonment, can't it?
Not really.
And then I'm being tortured because every second feels like an eternity.
Quit being a baby. You didn't get hurt.
You're a baby?
You didn't get hurt.
You're a baby?
You didn't get hurt.
I want you to, I can't wait. See, you know what karma is?
It's my roller coaster and it's upside down and Kaufman's up there complaining he's upside down for 2 hours. Sorry. That's the risk you took when you got on my roller coaster.
Me. Oh, you think I signed off on that one?
Yeah, of course you did.
No, you did.
Inherent in the risk. Inherent risk.
Inherent that I should expect that the multi-million-dollar ride breaks?
Sometimes you're going to be on a mechanical contraption. Sometimes mechanical contraptions have failures and you're stuck. You didn't get hurt. You didn't fall off of the roller coaster. You're upside down for a little bit. It's kind of funny.
A little bit?
And it's a good story and you weren't hurt.
You know people who say that?
Brush it off.
You know people who say that?
Brush it off.
You know people say that?
And be thankful that the fire department was close enough to get you down within an hour.
Do you know who people say that? People that's never happened to before. You big wuss. What do you? Until you're the one hanging.
Have you been trapped before?
I've been trapped on non-dangerous rides. But I've been psychologically damaged. On
It's a Small World.
No, yeah, that's a bad one. But nothing compares to Pirates of the Caribbean.
You were trapped on Pirates of the Caribbean, really?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't scary.
No, it's not the scary. I got caught at the place where all the pirates are like smacking their things and singing the song.
Yeah.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. A pirate's life for me. Watch this. Please stay in the car. We will be moving shortly. Yo ho, yo. On repeat for an hour.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there. Oh
so you're going a little bit crazy.
I'm jumping out.
Yeah.
I was like, I was just blown away. And Jacob's looking at me next to me going, oh.
Yeah, he probably like
ride's broken.
Yeah, were you hurt? No, you weren't hurt, so shut up.
I've been trapped on, let me think, at Disney, but I've been walked off it too. I got walked off of Pirates of the Caribbean, the Tigger ride, the Mexico ride, and Small World.
The Mexico ride?
Yeah, there's a ride in Mexico.
What?
It's the Three Caballeros in Epcot.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Donald Duck runs it?
Yeah. The Three Caballeros was Donald and two other birds.
Mickey Mouse?
No, birds.
Oh.
They're just birds.
There are other birds?
And the whole thing is about, and I want you to know, this is some racist stuff. And Mexico, you need to change this. It's them in Mexico with all the chefs trying to eat them. The guy pulls the thing off and there's a duck in there and they lose their mind.
Of course they're trying to eat duck.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
Well, for the audience though, let me make a point since we're talking about carnival rides. Do yourself a favor. Listen to this. If you never listen to anything I ever say, listen to this. Do not get on the dangerous looking rides at the county fairs or traveling carnivals. Do not. Don't let your kids get on them. Don't you get on them. Don't let your friends get on them. And here's why. If something goes wrong, each one of those, and we know this from experience, each one of those rides,
listen, people,
each one of those rides is its own independent LLC.
that means corporation. Every ride is incorporated.
It isn't a carnival. It's 93 corporations who have all decided to put their one asset at the same spot. So you get hurt on one of those roller coasters,
Tilt and roll or something. Yeah.
the only thing you can't sue the whole carnival. You can only sue the owners and operators of that particular ride, and the only asset they have is that particular ride. That's it. You're not going to get anything. If you're going to ride the dangerous rides, at least ride them at places where if you get hurt, like Disney, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, they can afford to take care of you. You are not going to be taken care of if you get hurt at a ride at a county fair. I'm off my soapbox now. Don't do it. Trust me.
I remember there was a ride in a big theme park in North Carolina, and it was one of those swings, the ones, and this part of the swing went over the side of the mountain. So when you went across, you saw the mountain, you were going, oh, that's scary. That's scary. Well, one day.
Well, it was bound to happen.
One day. And the worst part
It's
about
just a
it
matter
is
of time.
the area that went over the mountain made up about a quarter of it. So you had a 1 in 4 chance if it broke to land on the top of the mountain. But the one person who blew off just poof, right off the top of the mountain. Chair gave out, just took off, and that was that.
Wow.
Now here's something else. There was a terrible ride that happened in Orlando at Icon Park.
Oh yeah, the kid.
And here's the thing that and it's a terrible tragedy, but the most ridiculous thing about this ride is engineers, everybody who set up this ride, everybody who put this ride in place, there were protocols. One of the managers at the time changed the safety protocols.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Just some guy, Yahoo's working, there probably had 8 of them. This dude changed it to allow larger people to fit on the ride so that the seat didn't close completely. He altered it from the safety protocols, from the guys who spend millions getting saved, everything else. So this child died because some manager changed the setup. It's insane. So the human condition is always going to come into this.
I don't mean to hijack the topic for today, but the flip side of that is all these fat positivity people coming aboard and saying, wait a minute.
Oh, my God.
Wait a minute.
That's not what happened.
You have to accommodate me.
You don't.
You have to let me on this ride.
No, they have seats that if you don't fit in, you don't go.
You have to have special safety precautions for me, even though I am way heavier than the ride is designed to hold.
That doesn't go.
If they hadn't have done that, there's pressure.
No.
There's pressure to
the
accommodate.
only pressure is that the guy feels bad. The fact is this, they have these seats outside, and if you don't fit in, you don't fit in. This isn't like an airline where they give you extra seatbelt. This is a ride that says it's dangerous if you do this, and if you don't fit in here, you don't get to go. That's the way that goes. And it's like kids being too small. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I would lift Jacob up. As we were going past the height line, I'd grab by his belt and get him up an extra 4 inches.
You want to know what I did with Jesse when Jesse was about 5 years old? I was at Busch Gardens, and he made it through, so I don't have to worry about getting in trouble. So there's a height requirement for all these roller coasters.
Statute of limitations,
right? So he was way too short. So what we did is we took his socks off, took his shoes off, and we rolled up a pair of socks and put it in the shoe.
Lifts.
Yeah, and put it in the shoe, so that then he was standing on the sock in the shoe. It gave him like 4 extra inches. It was kind of like wearing high heels. His foot barely fit in the shoe because the entire shoe was being taken up by this giant sock that we put in there to give him an extra 2 inches on top of the 2 inches of the shoe.
So let's say he shot out of the ride because he wasn't tall enough to be on it.
Yeah, that's what my wife said. That's the exact concern that my wife had later. And that
After
was,
you told her, or
that was, yeah.
Was she
that
with you when you did it?
No, she was not.
I get in trouble for that. I used to get in trouble for taking them to do stuff that was ridiculously inherently dangerous, or me doing something inherently dangerous and not telling them until afterwards.
Like what I did, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's like when I told you guys I was jumping out of an airplane like last year.
I couldn't believe you did that.
And you're going, you're an idiot.
You can't believe you did that. Cannot
It's a
believe it.
military thing. I had to.
You didn't have to.
They're military guys. I couldn't look bad.
Oh, they're calling you a wuss if you didn't go?
Well, they use the P word, but yeah.
Yeah. I bet
Can't use the
so
P
you
word.
can be manipulated that easy.
Oh.
All I got to do is
Every
call you
man
a-
can.
all-
Every man can.
Oh, that's true.
I could do this right now to you. And
That's-
you go,
that's true.
I'm doing
That's
it.
true.
I'm
That's
doing
true.
it.
Why is that about us?
Oh,
What's wrong with us?
cavemen.
I couldn't do that to
DNA.
I couldn't do that to my wife.
DNA. That's
I
'cause-
couldn't keep calling her, "Oh, you wuss, you're not getting." She wouldn't if she didn't want to do it. There's no amount
All
of
right,
insults.
there are
I
things
could
that
give
are built into us. For example, the P word works for us. Another good-looking woman walking in the other direction works on them.
Oh, how so?
Oh, they hate it.
Oh,
Oh, they get territorial. See, this is DNA. I've never seen a woman I've been with look at this woman, good-looking woman coming our way and go, wow, that's a good-looking girl. Good for you. Never heard that in my life. Never, because DNA is in there. There's, hey, listen, don't infringe on my territory. Like if some big dude came by in the other direction, I'd go, that's a big dude, man. I ain't screwing with him. We'd automatically, that's our thought. We would go, oh,
Yeah,
you
good
think
for
my
you,
girl
man.
wants to be
Yeah,
with her?
yeah,
We
good,
would just
good.
go, I'm not screwing with that guy. And it's all part of DNA. I think in DNA, I think that the female of our species has been taught to, this is mine. I'm protecting this one. Men, if a woman goes, well, hey, listen. You know, I've never been out with a woman and have been, how can I say it, and be jealous of another dude. In the sense that I go, oh man, he could take my woman. I never thought of that. Or the woman I'm dating.
it's
never crossed
because
my
in
mind.
your mind you're like, please take
no,
my woman.
no, that's not it. But I've never also I've never been mad at a woman over having a better looking dude in the room with me and blamed it on her. Cause you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You ever been?
I do not know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because my wife is always the most beautiful woman in any room I'm in.
There you go. But he does know that if another woman walks within 10 feet of him, his eyes better be laser
Oh,
focused.
I know where my eyes better be.
But I mean, that's DNA. It's not society. A lot of people want to think it's society. I think inside us, we have certain things that pull us. And yes, there's experience. There's
right, so
nurture,
that is-
nature.
That explains guys getting on these rides. Why do women get on these damn
Some
things?
women love those. They love the
Really?
excitement. Yeah.
can't
Women
imagine.
love some.
I
Some
can't
women like to
imagine.
ride. That's like the same women who like to ride on the back of motorcycles.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like you can't get me on a back. Oh, I'm not going on the
back
back.
of the motorcycle? No.
Oh, no, I'm not.
We're riding our motorcycles. Yours breaks down. We are 6 miles from like a gas station or something.
Do I have a helmet on?
You
Can they
got a
see my
helmet on.
face?
You got a helmet on.
Oof.
The only way to get is to ride on the back of mine.
I'm going to get caught.
Do you walk
I'm gonna
all
get
6
caught.
miles? Because you could walk 6 miles.
Oh, you know what I do?
You could.
You know what I do?
It'd take you a while, but you could do it.
I'm facing the other direction. We're going back to back. Butch Cassidy and Sundance
Talk
Kid.
about a dangerous ride.
I don't care. I'll put my legs straight out. I'll look like the banana splits. I don't care.
So you just like lean back to back.
Back to back.
Like if we were,
In war.
in prison. And
We're not prison.
and
Why do you
they're-
go prison?
Well, you're
Why
back to
can't we
back
go-
because you're
no,
getting
war.
attacked by
no,
everybody.
in war, you back to back when you're getting fought.
Okay,
We don't
all right,
fight.
whatever. Yeah, you
prison.
defending these-
No, I don't want to be in a
Well,
room with you.
defending,
I'm
however,
not
I
touching
mean-
anybody in prison.
These people want to kill you. These other
I know what
people
happens
have
in
sex-
prison. You know, in war, you just have, I got your back.
Okay.
In prison, you got your backside. It's not the same. Listen, we know people. We used to do this for a living. Prison's not your friend. Now, hold on. There's
Speaking
also,
of
there's
women
also
doing
something
the
else. There's also something else about these rides that people don't take into consideration, especially the fare rides. The average
Don't ride
person,
'em.
the average person working
County
on
fair,
this
don't get on
ride,
'em.
and the person managing it, and the person who's supposed to slow it down, minimum wage
Okay.
employee.
I don't mean to be elitist, but I've been to the county fair on many occasions. And if you looking at the people operating the rides,
The carnies.
if that isn't enough to convince you not to ride the more dangerous of them, then at least my warning to you should be. Between those two, you should never get on a county fair ride that looks dangerous.
Carny teeth. That's what I normally think of.
Yeah.
When the guy says,
all those people,
when that says get on,
they are
it's like
running
meth.
from something.
Meth.
They're hiding from a child support order or an arrest warrant or something.
Or meth.
Or that's the best, easiest way for them to get their meth.
You ever see these dudes sitting around some days? They kind of look like Joe Dirt.
They all look
Yeah.
like Joe Dirt. I mean, it's a stereotype.
I'm not. It's not a stereotype.
But it's true. Yeah, well, it's a stereotype, but it's a true stereotype. Most stereotypes are based in some kind of truth.
Sure,
But
what's wrong with you?
Eventually, you're going to see.
In about a
half
second, he's
or
going to start
more.
railing on the Jews. I swear to God, I can feel it. Even though I'm sitting right here, you know the way you are, Jeff. No, Craig would never do that. He wouldn't do that. No, guy bought him those boots, so I don't. I guess I'm not part of that.
They're great boots.
I'm pretty generous. I'm a generous Jew.
They're great boots.
Yeah, most people think of
Did
that.
you just say I'm a generous Jew?
Yeah, I beat the stereotype.
Oh, what's the
Yeah.
stereotype?
Stereotype is supposedly Jews are cheap.
Oh,
So I don't know why, because I know they're a lot cheaper people than me. I always pick those bills up. But yeah, it comes down to the issue of, safety protocols, everything else. Like we once represented somebody who got hurt at a horse ranch and they didn't maintain that at all. But the law in Florida,
oh yeah.
for horses, you think it's bad for rides? Tell them the law that deals with horses in Florida. Not
They
in the whole
just
world,
have
but
to,
Florida.
so the way the equestrian world works in as far as the law is concerned,
In Florida.
they just have to have a sign somewhere on the property,
You don't even have to see
as
it.
long as it's not hidden, as long as there's not like
Be on the back
a
of the road.
poster in front of this sign. It can just be somewhere on the property that warns you of the inherent injury that comes along with equestrian events. And then it doesn't matter how you got hurt. The guy training you to ride your very first horse could have taken a brand out, branded the back of your horse, off that horse runs because it just got burned the hell out of it, and you fall off and break your leg.
Yep.
Can't sue. Can't sue.
Yeah.
Immunity.
We had somebody who was hurt. It was bad. I felt terrible. And I was going, I didn't know this law existed because it's such a bizarre law that when the opposing counsel brought it up to me, I'm going, what?
There's no way there's
There's
immunity.
no way there's a law that says you can do everything wrong and it's okay because Florida law covers farms. Now, the weird part is this, when you think of stuff like that, and we talk about theme parks, this girl in 2007 in the Superman Tower of Power ride lost her feet, got her feet cut off because a dude wasn't maintaining the safety system.
See, now I would, if I had spoken to her before, I would have been, okay, listen,
This is Six Flags, though. This is
Six
good.
Flags, they can't afford it. So you're okay riding that ride. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to get hurt. These are mechanical items. Mechanical items are going to eventually fail.
Now, we had another one too with the Batman ride. Kid hops the fence because his hat goes over the wall and gets decapitated
Oh,
by the Batman ride.
oof.
I'm Batman.
Oh, not anymore.
Not good.
Yeah.
And they said, here's the argument that the lawyer made for the family, that they made it too easy for him to climb over this fence to go into this area he shouldn't have gone into.
How old was the kid?
Well, he was trying to get his hat, so he was probably a teenager.
Yeah, at some point there's an age factor that I think would play into whether or not it was the kid's fault or not. If it was a 6-year-old kid whose hat blew off, I can understand him not appreciating the danger. And if you make it easy enough for a 6-year-old kid to get into that area, then that's on the theme park. If a teenager has to climb a fence and your argument is, well, you didn't make the fence high enough or you didn't put barbed wire at the top, no, I think that kid knew that it was dangerous to go get his hat when he's climbing the fence. So that
you'd have to put barbed wire at the top to like kind
well,
of
I mean,
let
how
people
would
know
you stop
don't do
a
it.
kid from climbing? Like at some point,
The idea of a fence.
At some point, you got to think that the fence would be enough to keep him from getting over. But at least warning you, you're not supposed to be here. Don't go
No
here. There's a
trespassing.
fence.
No trespassing. Thought the whole idea of a fence was to let you know don't go there.
Exactly, not to climb it.
Oh, we just have this fence here for looks. It's a cool
But
looking fence.
you know that some attorney would make the argument. We didn't put barbed wire at the top. You didn't electrify it. So you had to have anticipated that because it wasn't electrified or barbed wired, that somebody was going to climb it.
I don't think we've ever made a lunatic argument.
We haven't.
I mean, a lunatic.
We don't do
I'll call
those
it a
kinds of-
lunatic
yeah.
argument.
We've seen people make them though.
Yeah. But a lunatic argument. Those are just your
Yeah, that's a lunatic. Yeah, you didn't make the fence high enough. It was only 6 feet tall. It should have been 9 or 12 feet
But if it
tall.
was 4 feet, I could say, okay, I can just half hop over it.
Yeah, but you know you're going over a
But
fence.
an 8 foot one, I'm going, no, you're not supposed to do that. I think in the end, here's what we're looking at. You know, parks have to be responsible for maintenance. You're attracting these people by the dangerous nature of the ride itself, which means that I think your culpability and your precautions have to be 2-3 times more than, you know, on a go-kart maybe or something like that, that doesn't have the chance of the whole shaft breaking off. I mean, there was a ride the other day where the whole ride tilted over and like 20, 30 people had to jump onto it with, let's say, we'll do the math, 20 times about $1.50 each, 3,000 pounds of human weight to keep the thing
pulling
from
it
tilting
down,
over.
Sure.
I mean, how crazy is that? And let me just say this. For everybody who ran
Oh, the heroes. Yeah, absolute heroes.
ran towards the danger
You had no
and not
idea.
away from it, because you could have died.
You had no idea if you were going to be heavy enough
Yeah.
to hold it down.
And you could have died helping them.
Yeah.
So everybody who decided to do that, bravo. And if you did get hurt on that ride, contact us because they're responsible, because they can expect you to be injured.